I see Olga sitting here. Olga, come here for a second. One of the questions that I think all of us have, right, is, in fact, I had it at lunch, and I had some people stop me in the hall and say, Barry, I want to know that when you're out there recruiting, how do you get people to come back to the op meeting, and how do you get people to report their numbers, and how do you do this, and how do you do that when it comes to people? And I scratched my head, and I said, October the 30th of this year, Heather, will be my 35th year in this business. And after 35 years, I'm more confident today, Bill Lampy, that I don't know the answer to that question, right? What I am confident of is that if you commit to two things in this world and in this business, that you're going to have to go out and go through the numbers. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you going through the numbers is easy, right? Going through the numbers is, the one thing I will promise you, and Pam, you know this, I guarantee you if you set some goals up and you're committed to those goals, I will almost promise you you're going to get hit in the gut this week. I don't know if it's a good Lord testing you, just finding out if you're serious or not, but I've never set a goal that I didn't get hit in the gut immediately. Tell you what, I was thinking, I should do like at Bishop Trevor. We were thinking about adding 500 acres to Air Ranch. This isn't what I brought you up here for. Just stay with me for a minute. And did the bishop, or was it God telling us, he said something about buying land? I think I'm going to get it. I liked it, Michael Owens. Let me tell you what and the reason I brought Olga up. I remember a year ago, maybe it was a little more than a year ago, that I met you at a conference. Yes. And Olga came up and was talking with me about going out, and I'm going to be honest, I do not hear well. And some of that is because I don't want to, okay? It's what my wife accuses me of. But anyway, Olga was talking with me, and she's got a little bit of an accent and kind of reminded me, Philip and Andy and I guess this was 7 or 8 years ago. It's probably longer than that. We were just starting the company, and we had done meetings all week, and I remember the taxi cab driver picked us up in Baltimore, and I got up in the front seat with the taxi cab driver, and I couldn't understand the thing he was saying. He couldn't understand the thing I was saying. We talked for 30 minutes all the way back to the airport, and Philip and Andy went in the back rolling, laughing. And he said, Barry, he was asking you where you were from, and he thought you were from West Virginia and this and going on and that. And he said, y'all talked for 30 minutes, and you couldn't hear him, and he didn't, nor understand him. Well, that was about the way I felt after talking to Olga about a year ago, right? But I could see in her that she had a great desire. And I remember we had a place in Ponte Vedra Beach, and you were in Jacksonville. And I remember Olga called me. I gave her my number and said, call me, we'll talk about it. And I remember her struggles, And you even shared with me, you said, I've got a strong accent, and, I go out and setting appointments, and it's a challenge, and it's tough. And then we come back, and I've got to tell you something. I'm being very transparent with you, okay? I remember getting off of the phone thinking to myself, I swear, I don't know if she's got a shot. I'm being honest with you, And we talked a couple other times, and she shows up a year later, right? She's got Jason here, her husband. Jason's been a little ill this week, been in the hospital. Olga flies up. He gets, says, heck, I got to go up too. Checks out the hospital, goes home, feels a little better, right? Flies back up here. How many people do you have here this weekend? 14 people here this weekend. And so my point is this, is that, and I remember a guy that I worked for back in the 80s used to say this all the time. How much time we got, Olga? I'm 4 minutes over. Okay. He used to make his statement all the time. He said, there's never been a test devised to look inside the heart of a man or a woman and to tell if they've got the goodies or not. Right? And I leave you with that to say this to you. You got to go through the numbers. Don't get caught up. You just put a uniform on them. You give them a list of names, or let them buy some leads, or come up with some referrals, and you find out if they can get on there and make a dial and set an appointment and go recruit somebody, okay? And I don't think I can leave you with a better example of what executing an activity means than Olga here. So we're proud of you. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you guys very much.